Dog training beyond words. The mistake most people make when training dogs is assuming that dogs understand the world in a smaller version of the way humans do. We imagine that our words contain meaning, and that if we repeat them often enough, loudly enough, or with enough treats in our hands, the dogs will eventually understand what we're saying. But dogs don't live inside language the way humans do. Human beings think through words. We define, compare, explain, justify, and remember and imagine through language. We can hear a sentence, break it apart, extrapolate from it, and use it to build an idea we've never personally experienced. A person can be told, "Don't touch the stove because it's hot." And through language alone, they can imagine heat, danger, pain, and consequence. Dogs don't learn that way. A dog does not hear a word, examine its definition, compare it to other concepts, and build a symbolic understanding from the language itself. A dog can learn sounds. A dog can learn patterns. A dog can associate a spoken cue with an action, an emotional state, a person, a place, or an outcome. But the sound does not teach the idea. The idea must already exist first. This changes everything. A word like heel is not meaningful to a dog because the word itself carries information. It becomes meaningful only after the dog has already discovered the idea of moving in harmony beside a person. The body understands before the word does. The relationship understands before vocabulary comes. The dog must feel the shape of the behavior, the rhythm of it, the emotional state inside it, and the social meaning behind it. Only then can the sound be attached to the idea. This is why the best dog training is often quiet. Dogs are extraordinary readers of movement, posture, pressure, intention, and emotional tone. They notice where our shoulders point, how our feet shift, whether our breathing changes, whether our hand reaches, whether our body invites or blocks, whether our attention is calm or scattered. They're watching constantly, not as a trick, but because this is one of the main ways they understand the social world. Their thought is fast because it's not slowed down by verbal explanation. A dog does not need to describe every object in the room to respond to it. He doesn't need to name every possibility to choose a path forward. He reads the situation directly. He reads motion, space, opportunity, pressure, and consequence. In many ways, this gives dogs a kind of practical intelligence that's cleaner and quicker than ours. They don't argue with themselves for 10 minutes before noticing what's happening. Words, for humans, can clarify. For dogs, they often clutter. When a person talks constantly during training, the dog is forced to sort through meaningless noise while trying to understand the actual lesson. The human thinks they're helping because they're explaining, but the dog isn't learning from the explanation. The dog is learning from the body, the timing, and the environment, the emotional tone and consequences. Most of the words are just static over the signal. The same is true of treats. Treats are useful. They can help increase motivation. They can help build enthusiasm. They can create repetition. They can help install simple behaviors quickly. But treats also change the dog's mind. Food raises intensity. It narrows attention. It creates expectation. The dogs begin to watch the hand, the pouch, the pocket, and the transaction. The problem in front of them becomes less important than the payment that might come after. This is not so different from people. When people are paid for work, they often produce more. Payment increases effort, urgency, and compliance, but it does not always increase wisdom. It does not always increase creativity. It can narrow the mind toward the reward instead of the work itself. A person who is paid only for production may stop thinking deeply about the craft. The job becomes a transaction. Dogs respond to food rewards in a similar way. Treats can increase production, but they can also reduce contemplation. They can make a dog busier, sharper, and more eager, while making them less thoughtful. This is useful when the goal is repetition. It's less useful when the goal is understanding. Teaching is not the same as paying for performance. When we're teaching a dog to solve a problem intelligently, the best approach is often to present the problem clearly and then give the dog room to think. We guide with our body, we encourage with our presence, we offer hints, and we reduce confusion. We create a path where the dog can make small discoveries and feel the satisfaction of progress. The reward is not merely a treat, the reward is esteem. The dog knows when they've done something meaningful with us. They know when the relationship becomes warmer, when the handler's body becomes softer, when the praise is real, when the social bond strengthens. They feel success not only as a resource gained, but as a place earned inside the relationship. This kind of reward reaches deeper than food. Food can buy attention for a moment. Relationship can command loyalty under pressure. Food can create excitement. Esteem can create confidence. Food can make a dog work. Relationship can make a dog try. People understand this better than they admit. Most of us will work for money, but we'll sacrifice for love. We'll do a job for payment, but we'll endure hardship for a friend, a family member, a teacher, a cause, or someone who respect matters to us. When things become truly difficult, resources are not always the strongest motivator. Relationship often is. Dogs are no different in this respect. They're social animals. Their deepest intelligence is relational. They want to know where they belong, who they're with, and what role they play, whether their actions bring harmony or conflict to the group. Training that ignores this becomes mechanical. Training that honors it becomes transformative. This is why nonverbal teaching is so powerful. When we teach with fewer words, the dogs can hear more of what matters. They can read the body, notice the path. They can feel the pressure change, and they can observe the handler's intention. They can use their natural social intelligence instead of being buried under human chatter. When we use fewer treats, the dog can think more broadly. They can consider the problem instead of obsessing over the payment. They can discover the behavior instead of simply chasing the lure, and they can develop patience, confidence, emotional control. This goal is not to remove all words or all food. The goal is to put them in their proper place. Words should name ideas the dog already understands. They should not be used as a substitute for teaching. Treats should support learning when they're helpful. They should not become the center of the relationship. The real work of dog training happens beneath language and beyond bribery. It happens in movement, timing, trust, clarity, patience, and shared attention. A dog trained this way does not merely obey commands. He learns they learn how to think with their handler. They learn the human body carries information. They learn that the calm attention solves problems. They learn that confusion is not failure. They learn that effort brings them closer to the person guiding them. And they learn that their choices matter inside the relationship. This is a deeper kind of training. This is not about dominating the dog. It's not about stuffing them full of rewards. It's not about repeating words until the dog gives up and guesses correctly. It's about entering the dog's natural way of understanding the world and teaching from there. Dogs do not need us to become louder. They need us to become clearer. They don't need endless explanation. They need better examples. They don't need every lesson turned into a transaction. They need a relationship worth serving. The more we understand the dog's mind, the more obvious this becomes. The dog is not a failed human. It's not a creature waiting for language to make them intelligent. It's already intelligent, but this intelligence moves through the body, the senses, the emotions, and the social bond. Good training respects that. The handler's job is to make the lesson visible, make the path possible, make success meaningful. The dog's job is to observe, attempt, adjust, and grow. Between them, if the relationship is strong enough, language becomes almost unnecessary. The body speaks first, words come later.